Canelo choosing Avni Yildrim. And I say choosing because Mauricio Sulaiman has said that he chose that opponent to be next for the vacant WBC super middleweight title.
Again, I'm too nice, me, but I'm trying to make excuses for everyone. But did he choose Yildrim because Dazn told him you must pick a, not in a disrespectful way, but a cheaper opponent?
Well, supposedly Dazn, and again, this is another rumor, Dazn didn't want to put on that fight, and that's sort of why they're in the middle of the... Yes,
but did they say to him, right, A-class fight is going to cost X. Your sort of budget for the opponent is this, and did that, he then go, well, I'll pick him then. You know, you don't know. You don't know. But also, I think it made for a spectacular show for Canelo. So if you're given an option and you can look $1 million and, you know, it's a behind closed doors and he can go out there and put together all his beautiful variety of shots that he's got and look $1 million, why would he not choose that? If he's told you need to pick from this sort of class as opposed to this class because of, as I said before, boxing is a business, so I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses for people.
I mean, it looks the way it looks, doesn't it? So I mean, no one's really come out and clarified too much.
You can't call Canelo
He's not a cherry picker. I will say that much. Hands down, he's not. So you made a very valid point. Was it budget? Great fucking question.
He boxed Kovalev, you know. Kovalev, great fighter, much bigger man. People going, oh, he's coming off of this.
I don't think Canelo has ever not wanted to fight somebody. I think if there's ever an instance where it came off that way, it was probably down to people around him as opposed to him. Because I do believe, I mean, look, a lot of people, Canelo knows that Billy Joe Saunders is a tough opponent, and he chose him. So I don't think that he's ducking and swerving. I just know that a lot of people were very unpleased when they have had that name. But you brought up a valid point that maybe it is budget, especially if that's why Billy Joe was like, yeah, swerve me with this offer. So it could have been. You're right. Could have been. He's going through a lawsuit currently against Dazn and Golden Boy Promotions. What do you think of that? What do you think of him trying to fight to become his own boss, to be like an independent?
I don't want to say too much because I always thinking you could potentially work with someone, or you know, so you don't want to burn bridges that you've not yet crossed. But it's certainly an interesting one. It's one that he's capable of doing, of course. I mean, he's a mega star. But like I say, it's just an interesting one. I'd like to know that. Did they sort of say, right, this is the budget, you've got to find someone from this sort of budget?
It's a great question to ask.
But
we'll get down to that one. We'll figure that. I'll get that.
But this is the thing.
The question answered.
This is the thing. I know people always say, "Oh, boxing's a business," but it's often said, but not really thought about. You know, he picked him. But the reality is, yes, before Billy Joe accepted and agreed terms, there was an offer. I'm not going to call it a lowball offer, but there was an offer that was unacceptable.
Well, then at the same time, Ben, you got to ask yourself, well, it's sort of like, my understanding is that Anthony Joshua was willing to take a pay cut because it was behind closed doors, et cetera, right? So if the rumors are true and Canelo's not budging on what he's being paid, I guess it could come down to, if it means making the right fight, then you should
Okay, but now we're going to get into all the nonsense. But Anthony Joshua is his own boss, yeah? He doesn't have, I'm sure, this is what you're going to get set for a fight, for this fight. Yeah, because I'm sure AJ Boxing puts on their own shows along with Matchroom. So, although you're saying he's willing to take a pay cut, what he probably means is, I'm aware that I'm probably not going to earn as much as I would in a normal situation. But if someone's told you you're going to get 10 million and then want to give you 200,000,
Well, that's an extreme,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For an example, you're not gonna. If you've already, let's say, okay, but it's better put like this. Let's say you're selling your car again, yeah, but you've already agreed the person's gonna buy it for 10,000. You're not then gonna go when they turn up. Drop 5. It's already been agreed.
The way I see it is Canelo is the type of person that needs to be in with the right type of people to keep himself at the caliber that he's at. So if that meant, if I was Canelo, if that meant that I had to budge, let's just say roughly, on $1 million, which is fuck all in comparison, let's be honest, with everywhere else you're making the money.
So forget boxing. Forget boxing. If you were selling your car, if you'd agreed £10,000 for your car, but then someone come and went, you know what, I'll give you 9. But you'd already agreed the 10.
Well, here's why. Because it's, for example, if I was to sell my car now, given that the current climate of what's going on, and I waited to 2021 to sell it, the value just dropped because we went into the new year. So are you going to keep yourself out of the ring for X amount of time because, because the network that you're with supposedly doesn't want to put on that fight? Or I don't know, whatever it may be. My point is that the longer you wait, your value of things sometimes decrease.
Yes, but does it decrease by half or more?
No, not by half.
No.
But you could budge in areas that could probably compensate.
Of course. And people are sensible. Boxers are also businessmen and have been in the game long enough. So they know that, okay, you know, we can have a deal. It's not silliness, but it has to be done in a sensible way.
I'm just saying, if the rumors are true and it's come down to the fact that Canelo's not willing to budge on money, I'm just saying there are solutions that could keep him in the game fighting top level opponents.
But again, I think you have to respect the fact that he's not coming out and saying, oh, they wanted to give me X amount of pay cut. You know, he's kept it. Boxing fans don't want to hear it.
Well, we know something's popping off because he's suing everybody.
Yes.
So he's not happy regardless.
Exactly. So would you, if you had to put your house on it, would you guess that it's over a decrease of $1 million, $2 million? If you had to guess for him to do that?
I don't know.
You'd imagine it's probably unreasonable for him to even think he's got a chance in court. With the legal matters, so but I respect the fact that he's not come out because people don't want to listen to all that bollocks today. So
hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else